episode of Art is Hard, a video series. My name is Alicia Disantis, founder of 38th and Kip Studio. We provide branding, marketing, graphic design, and illustration services. Today we are talking with Ryan Keates, awesome designer and founder of Foxduck Studio in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Ryan has a passion for creating visually unique designs. He specializes in distinct brands for a diverse range of clients. This brand we're going to be talking about today is the CBD industry, one of quite possibly the ugliest brand industries in the nation. From their advertising to their websites, everything about it screams in your face, over the top. What Ryan and his team at Foxduck Studio have done is taken a CBD cigarette brand and created something totally unique, totally moody, totally atmospheric, something that transports you to a new place. I am awestruck at the design and execution of this product. And I'm so stoked to have Ryan on the show. So let's go ahead and welcome in. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Art is Hard. I have Ryan Keates here, founder and graphic designer at Foxduck Agency. Thank you so much for having us.
Hi, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm probably your biggest fan, actually. So I've been geeking out on all of your graphic design work on Instagram. And I originally discovered you through the tagline they posted on LinkedIn. And I follow them on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
one of the things that I was kind of irritated by is that tagline article doesn't include you. It's the founder of the company that you did the work for, but you're
Oh,
not.
yeah.
They mention you, but you don't get a chance to talk about it. So I was like, well, you should get a chance to talk about it. So here we are. And
I appreciate that.
quite frankly, the project we're going to be talking about is one of the very best branding projects I have ever seen.
Thanks.
So
Okay, getting all blushy over here.
I was super stoked about talking about it. So I have it here in front of me, and we'll go ahead and dive in. So this is the project for Bogart filtered cigarettes. So go ahead and tell me about how this project came to pass.
So when the owner originally contacted us, he was really excited. It was his first company that he ever started. He's a video producer, so he was working on other people's projects, and most notably, he was working on Seth Rogen's houseplant
Oh,
cannabis.
yeah. Yep.
So that rang in my head because I love branding, and houseplant to me as one of the most solid brands out there. So he mentioned that he wanted to branch off and started his own cannabis company, filtered cannabis. And so I just got really excited because it's really, the beer market's pretty saturated. There's lots of package designs, stuff like that. So I really think that there's a future in cannabis branding moving forward. So it was really nice to get this to be a part of the portfolio. So I was really
Yeah.
excited.
The thing I love about it is that and I've said this to you before in messages, is the name and the logo and the tagline and the product all align so perfectly.
Yeah.
To the term Bogart, don't Bogart the joint, don't hold on to it. But with this product, the whole goal is to smoke the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what you've done by taking that concept of Bogart, not just a person, but the verb essentially, is really tremendous. So I'd like to learn more about your design inspiration behind this, because it has that Casablanca feel.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting that you say about the person. There was actually a couple of things a couple of obstacles that I had to avoid, like trademark infringement like where I couldn't use the persona of Bogart himself, like the person, the character. I
Yeah.
had to actually avoid that entirely. So that kind of made it easy a little bit, in the fact that, when I work on branding projects, the more I can eliminate of what I don't have to think about, the easier it is for me. So eliminating that from the table was easy. But the other challenge was, what I had read about the cannabis industry is that a lot of logos get flagged for inappropriate, like if it's too much of a weed leaf, Facebook might flag it and call it inappropriate. So navigating between not making it about the person and not making it too much about the weed, cannabis, um, was was where I went. So I just had to find a way to kind of set the tone. It was more about a feeling. So that's sort of where I went with the Casablanca, like travel, luxury, like relaxing. You know, I wanted you to be able to look at the brand and just exhale. And then that was sort of the thing. And then it had to all wrap around a single icon, because with branding cigarettes, as I researched it, they stamp the logo right on the cigarette itself, and this guy was going to hand stamp them himself. So um, it had to be clear and easy to just stamp one after another. So that's what kind of led me towards the direction I went.
Yeah. I love that. And I can definitely see, I think that's one of the things that's drawn me to it is it's a very environmental mood. It's like a lifestyle brand. And
Mhm.
that's really rare to see within the CBD and marijuana industries. I mean, it's kind of a tacky industry in terms of design.
Yeah, it's a very tacky juvenile industry, and that was sort of the goal of this brand, was to sort of just change that kind of, uh personally, I use cannabis, and it's an adult thing. It should be an adult conversation. um it's helped a lot of people with anxiety and all kinds of stuff. So it's about time that the brand started to match the cannabis industry, as it's slowly helping people.
Sure, absolutely. There's a so I'm in Denver, of course. This is the mecca of marijuana, and the marijuana and CBD industry here is just hilarious to me because you'll have the local paper, and the like a third of it is dedicated to marijuana and dispensary advertisements, and so it'll just be like a checkerboard of all those different brands and logos,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's like it'll be like it's literally like a stock photo of a bud with glitter symbols around it, or like a dragon, or it's like the
Oh
most.
my god, can you send a picture of that? I am so
Absolutely, yeah.
curious.
I actually have a
Because like
magazine right over there.
like I, I was so curious, like how this industry is gonna pan out in the future. And Denver obviously is on the frontier of the cannabis industry, and I would love to see that. That's really
Oh
cool.
my god, I'm gonna see if I can. I literally, it's within arm's reach. Let me see if I can go backwards enough and pull. I got it right here. So it's Westword Magazine, and it's like the urban. Oh my god. So here's some. It's like,
Oh my gosh.
so these are full pages,
That's
but there's
ridiculous.
also yeah. So there's also pages here, you can
Oh my,
see,
yeah.
and it's like
That's
Rastafarian colors.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty much exhausted at this point, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So it's and I wasn't even looking at this from the lens of it even being CBD. I mean, the whole experience and where it takes you to. If you could talk to me a little bit more about some of the colors, because this is a really unique color palette.
Yeah. So the color palette was one of the first things I had to lock down. I needed that mid-century modern feel, and there's only a few select colors that can really pull that off, and I didn't want it to be, too vibrant or jarring. It had to be relaxing and smooth. but it couldn't be earth tones. And so I just had to, I wanted to find a balance between the pops and the, like with the pink and the greens and yellows. Those color combinations you don't see quite often, and I just kind of wanted to bring that retro vibe back.
Yeah. The color that strikes me the most is that I guess it would be like the black. So
Oh
the
yeah.
like almost like the faded black.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I guess it's almost like a dark moss green. I really
Hmm.
love that.
Yeah, I try not to use complete blacks ever. My one of my professors always mentioned in college, in fine art, like black is the presence of all colors, so there should be colors within it. So try to lean towards one or the other. Don't just use full black.
Yeah.
So it, you can, like you said, I wanted to kind of pull off like a smoke graphite feel.
Yeah, I love it. And then the one of the things I also was really inspired by is what you did. So you have the mock-up of on your page of the box with the ochre background. In the actual cigarettes, it looks they're designed like a 3D rendering of what they look like in there.
Yeah. So I'm terrible at mock-ups. So Photoshop has always been my uh, second choice as far as design work goes. So when it comes to mocking things up, I'd rather use my talents, illustrating the product in a cool way as opposed to just sifting through mock-ups and trying to find a box to slap it on. You can create a little bit more personality through, your illustration style. So like I feel like that was an extension of of the style that extended their brand as well. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. I mean, because as a designer, the owner or whomever is trusting you. The thing I love about design so much is that no matter how hard you try, there's a huge piece of who you are that's within
Hmm.
that so they brand or do whatever. And no matter how hard you try to make you adhere to their brand guidelines or their style, it's still your interpretation of that. And
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's the beautiful thing with this. And I mean, I really love it because it's like it really reminds me of the mid-century product mock-ups that were done with airbrushing and various things like that, or oil paint.
Yeah, definitely. As far as going back to the point of putting yourself into the project, I think that a lot of clients need to start, as we get into like the AI conversation and things like that, those things that your style, the things that make you a designer are the things that are gonna be the things that you're gonna be able to market, because that's, you know your style is going to be your calling card. If you don't develop a style, then there's going to be no reason for someone to approach you specifically. So yeah, I agree. I completely agree with your style being part of the brand every time.
Yeah, you can't be all things to all people, and I think a lot of young designers struggle with that. They really want to please, to get
Hmm.
work and to build their portfolio. And um, I mean, there's enough business for everybody out there. I feel like there's going to be people that really want a very specific look,
Hmm.
and
Absolutely.
for
That's one
whatever
of the
that's
hard
worth.
Yeah, that's one of the hard conversations I had with clients at the very beginning. It's like, please take a look at our portfolio, please look at our style, and please make sure that you're contacting the right person. Because
Exactly.
we've had a couple people contact us and we are not their style.
Yeah, exactly. If you're looking for black and white, do not go to me,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
everything with me is about color. Um, so let's talk about some of your inspiration. Who are some designers or artists or genres that really inspire you?
Oh man, that's. I mean, specifically as designers, you've got the made by James Instagram account. Like he's an incredible resource to me. Like on the emotional side of design, like there's a lot of emotion that goes into what we do, and I don't think a lot of people touch on that a lot. And I think he does a really good job of highlighting the struggles that a lot of designers go through. So for me, he's kind of like a person that I lean to on, like is what I'm going through, what a lot of people are going through, and it's true. So as far as style and things like that, it really depends on the brand that I'm going for. I try, as much as I have a style, what I do is just look at every other style possible out there, like paintings, sketches, furniture. It doesn't matter. The lines are lines and shapes are shapes. So if you can find inspiration wherever you can find it, it's out there. You just have to like sift through.
Yeah. So with this piece in specific, there is some reference in the Dieline article to Italian design.
Mm.
So is that something that you were driving, or is the owner driving that?
So the owner gave me a slide deck when he first presented the project to me, and he had done like his research, and part of his research was Mad Men depiction and Italian signage and things like that. While Italian signs were definitely part of the mood board that I developed. I kind of looked at other things like old cigarette packs, the vintage 70s cigarette packs, and what made those successful, because the 70s and 80s were the mecca of branding as far as cigarettes go, and then so many successful brands out there that were of course dissipated over time because cigarettes fell by the wayside. But there's gorgeous brands out there of cigarettes that nobody's ever really researched.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, also Matchbox, vintage
Mm.
matchboxes and matchbook cards. Oh my God, that is. Have you dove into that world at all? It is unbelievable.
I don't come out. That's my TikTok. If I find the right stream of inspiration of old matchbooks, it's nuts. Yeah.
Oh, there is just
and
some unbelievable.
and the things that people were doing in the 1900s are just as relevant as they are today in design, and it's just incredible just to look back at the historic little matchbooks and how they're just as good as today.
Yeah, and the restraint. They had what, two colors
Yeah.
sometimes? And how big is a matchbook? I don't know, an
Yeah.
inch by an inch maybe, or
Yeah.
2 inches by 2 inches.
All
Man,
hand done, no grids, no nothing. Just yeah,
I know.
it's
So this
geeking it.
your the last thing I'll say about this project that really reminds me of one of my all-time favorite artists, Werner Patton.
Oh,
Are you familiar with him?
I'm not.
Oh man, he was a
I'm gonna
huge,
write that down
huge
though.
60s and 70s. Um, if you saw his work, you'd instantly recognize it. He does the gradient um, semi curve where it's like like purple, red, orange, yellow.
Okay.
Super, super famous. And he was also an interior designer. And this work reminds me so much. So I would definitely check him out.
I'm
He's
definitely going to check that out for now.
oh, unbelievable. Um, awesome. This is great.
Yeah.
I could talk all day with you about this because this is just a really tremendous brand. So thank you for being on the show.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Well, stay tuned for more packaging from them as they're going to continue, because they're gonna have more flavors and different things like that. He's going
So
to get
you're going
into
to be
full.
working, you're going to be doing that?
Mhm. Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then we've got a lot of projects that we're announcing this summer that we've just finalized, that we're pretty excited about. A lot of beverage and beer, but we're still just as excited about it.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much, Ryan. Really
Yeah,
appreciate you.
thank you for your time.
And thanks for our listeners. Stay tuned for more and have a great day.